Well, we're in dreamland. Tottenham are a massive club, a famous club, and we are so happy with the draw. I think our players, for what they did in the previous rounds, they deserved an away draw at a club like Tottenham. They deserve that. And as a fan, it would have been a brilliant day out, I'm sure. But we wouldn't really have had a chance. Now we're at the Lamb, we have a slight chance. And Andy Peakes will be doing all he can to maximise that chance that we have. But we're not under any illusions, we're not daft, football's, it's any sport's about levels. And you're at a Premiership club with a top manager and some fantastic players, world-class players. We're not daft, but this is the FA Cup after all, Hello, Chris. Hello, Spurs fans. Thanks for having me on. Chris has sent me some questions, some interesting questions. So hopefully I can give you a perspective of the Tamworth view about Sunday's big game. Can you tell us about Tamworth's season so far, the form and the FA Cup run? We are having a really good season so far. Everybody's favourites to go down, but we're 16th in the National Conference. We've got 30 points. We're proving very difficult to beat, especially at home, but we're playing some good football as well. I think there's a lot of snobbery from some of the opposing managers and fans who are reluctant to give Tamworth any credit for the way we're playing. We don't play out from the back. And why would we when our keeper's got a brilliant laser kick that finds our centre forward, who wins most of them in the air. We do get the ball down and we can play, but we do it in the right areas. We don't play tippy-tappy stuff from the back. Current form, well, we've lost our last two. We lost on Tuesday to Sutton in the trophy, who we'd beaten in the league a couple of weeks earlier. But I think both sides had put out, there were different personnel in both lineups. And before that, we lost in the league to Solihull. I went to that game. Horrible day, very windy, never got going. But before that, we've been playing well. We always give a good account of ourselves. But this is the FA Cup, so form goes out the window, really. It's going to be interesting. The cup run this year has been incredible. We came in at a qualifying stage, the last qualifying stage, I think, and we played Robbie Savage's Macclesfield. It was a cracking game. Of course, we're the favourites in that because they're from a lower league. And I think we won 4-2, that really good game. But to beat two League One teams is an incredible achievement for these players. I mean, that's the equivalent of a League One team beating a Premiership side twice. I can remember when we beat Burton away in the FA Cup in 2006, but that was in the qualifier, and I think we were both at a similar level then. So this victory against them was, our local rivals, was really sweet. But in both games against Huddersfield and Burton, we deserved to win. There was nothing lucky about them. I think we were the better team in both games. Can you talk about the league Tamworth playing? And are all the players and managers full-time, part-time with other jobs? The National League is basically League 3. So if you win the conference, you get promoted to League 2, and vice versa, you get relegated down to the conference. Most of the teams are full-time professional teams, and I think we're one of the few part-time teams left. There are teams in there what I consider to be big clubs because of their league history. You've got the likes of Oldham, York, Rochdale and Southend. Our players are part-time. They train on Tuesday and Thursday nights, but most Tuesdays we have a game. it's a good standard of football. Yeah, a lot of players there who perhaps, didn't get the right breaks, didn't have the luck, and could have easily gone on and done well. Yeah, there's some very good footballers in the National League. There's also some coaches that tend to think, well, I call them pan shop Guardiolas. They think they play out from the back, but they don't. They tend to, the back four or the back three will play a few square passes and then they go long anyway. That's not playing out from the back. Plenty of passing without purpose, I think, with some of the teams in the conference. And some of it, I find that quite boring. And Tamworth are never boring, not the way we play. As I said, we play in the right areas. We play with wingers. We play with, we play with purpose when we've got the ball. But we're not going to mess around in our own half just for the sake of it. Can you tell us about Andy Peakes, our manager? Well, Andy Peakes came to the club when we were in danger of being relegated to non-league Step 4. He got us winning, and then he delivered back-to-back championships. Incredible achievement. I personally think he's a tactical genius, and he's built a team that's very strong and never give up. And he's always got a plan B. And the thing I like about it is he always says he assesses a player's personality, not just their ability before they come to the club, to make sure they fit in the group, because this is a very tight group. I was watching us when we were 4-0 down away at Oldham. Again, just not our day. And yet Tonksi's still sprinting from one side of the pitch to the other to take throw-ins in the last 5 minutes. They never give up. They give everything. And I think the fans appreciate that. I think they're a special group of players. Not just their attitude. These are, Tamworth have got some very good footballers. You have to be a good footballer to play at this level. This isn't dog and duck stuff. This is the National League. These are good players that we've got. Win, lose or draw, Andy Peakes makes sure that the team give everything, and they do. And I think the fans can see that. There's a good bond between the players and the fans. His post-match interviews are always honest. He doesn't come out with the corporate coaching blah. He's always ruthlessly honest, and I appreciate that. But the good news is it's just been announced, and maybe it's to do with the money that we're going to get from this game, that he's now going full-time in February. And he signed a 2.5-year contract, and that is just fantastic news for us. That's like having a, £1 million centre-forward signing. It's just fantastic news. I'm sure he was attracting attention from a lot of other clubs because of his record. So, yeah, I'm chuffed. Whatever happens, I'm chuffed. We're keeping on to Peaksy. Who are the key players for Tamworth, and who should Tottenham fans look out for? Well, as I just said, they're all quality players at this level, and they're very good players at the level they play at. And it is fine margins between those that make it and those that don't. But the players that you should be looking out for, obviously you've seen all the Tom Tonk stuff that's been on social media and on the BBC because of his long throw. And it is a thing of beauty. But I would pick Tom Tonks, even if he couldn't throw the ball long. He's a very good midfielder. He's a very good footballer. Jazz Singh, our goalkeeper, he's a class act with a very accurate kick, safe handling, good shot stopper. Again, I've got just a class act. No dramas with him. Got two good centre halves, Jordan Cullen-Lyburd and Hayden Hollis. They've been solid this season. And up front, we've got Dan Creaney, who's a fan's favourite. Very clever player and a centre-half's worst nightmare, really. Tends to play it there by himself and gets to an awful lot of work, and then we'll play one off him slightly. That's normally when he's fit and well. Nathan Shikuna, again, a very good player. Good shot from outside the box and can score a spectacular goal. But whoever we play, we've got other strikers at the club like Chrissy Ray, good players. Watch out for them. And watch out if we do play our A game. I'd love it if we could get a throw in the first few minutes and Tonksy could shove it right under your crossbar with our big lads coming in on it, because we do have a lot of success with that. And it is a thing of beauty. It's good football. It's exciting. It's entertaining. What's the point of throwing it backwards and then passing it square? We can get our ball in the box with Tonksy, so we put it there. How do Tamworth fans feel about the draw against Tottenham? Would you have preferred the game to be at Tottenham? Well, we're in dreamland. You know, Tottenham are a massive club, a famous club, and we are so happy with the draw. I think our players, for what they did in the previous rounds, they deserved an away draw at a club like Tottenham. They deserve that. And as a fan, it would have been a brilliant day out, I'm sure. But we wouldn't really have had a chance. Now we're at the Lamb, we have a slight chance. And Andy Peakes will be doing all he can to maximise that chance that we have. But we're not under any illusions, you know. We're not daft, you know. Football's, it's any sport's about levels, and you're at a Premiership club with a top manager and some fantastic players, you know, world-class players. We're not daft, but this is the FA Cup after all, you know. Can you tell us about the stadium and the 3G pitch, as it will be very different to what Tottenham are used to? The pitch won't be an issue. All the Spurs players will have played and trained on plastic. Even a fat old boy like me, I still play five-a-side of the Power League on this kind of surface. It's like grass. It takes a stud. It's no problem. It's good for passing. Anyone moaning about the pitch, and they do moan about the pitch, is just looking for excuses. But it only seems to be a problem when teams lose. It's not, you know, this is the stuff that they're making now. I mean, this is a 3G pitch. The 4G stuff, you look at it, you can't even tell that it's not real grass. It's fine to play on. You can pass on it. You know, as I say, it takes a stud. You can tackle on it. It's nothing like the green AstroTurf back in the day when it first came out with like Luton QPR had, which was just like green concrete. I suppose I'm showing my age there. But no, the pitch won't be a problem. What have I made of Tottenham this season? Well, I did start taking an interest when the draw came in. And I find watching Tottenham very entertaining. Better than watching some of the tippy-tappy chess ball that the Premiership tends to turn up. I know you've had a lot of injuries, but I was impressed with the win over Liverpool the other night. And the game against Manchester United, I watched that as well. I think that was the round before. I mean, there was some comedy goals scored, but it was entertaining. But yeah, you've got some quality players. I saw that, and you deserve to beat Liverpool, and they're probably the best team in Europe at the moment. So you're a decent side. No two ways about that. Which Spurs players do Tamworth fans want to see at the Lamb Ground? The Spurs players I would like to see at the Lamb Ground on Sunday are your under-15s. I don't want to see Son, Solanke, Maddison, any of your big names. They need to be rested. You've got a big game coming up against Arsenal. Don't risk it. Don't risk bringing your top draw players to us. We're little old Tamworth. Do not worry about us. Give your big guns a rest. Bring some kids, you know. Let them have a few beers the night before. Pie and chips as a pre-match meal. Do not worry about us. We're just little old Tamworth. Predicted lineup for Tamworth and score prediction. The past few games, I've seen a few changes with players coming back from injuries and suspensions. So I don't know which wide players we're going to go with, and we're sport for choice. We play a sort of 4-4-1-1, 4-5-1. I can't tell the difference. It always seems like we've got one up front. We try and stay in the game, and we're very compact, and we have a good shape, and we won't be concerned that you have the ball most of the time. We're used to that. But when we get the ball, we will try and be positive. I hope we start with, but it's obviously in Peakes I trust, because he's a fantastic manager. But from the fans' point of view, from my view, I think if we start with Cullen, Lyberg, Creaney and Tonks, I think it signals our intent that we're going for this, and we're going to go for it from the start. My personal view is I don't think there's any point in bringing Tonksy on with 70 minutes because the game could have gone by then. but whatever side we pick, you can be rest assured they'll be giving it everything, and they'll be fully committed. And I say, we won't panic if you've got most of the ball. Now, my head says, saying all that, you're a Premiership side, there's levels, and you're a quality team, and this really should be, if you did put your under-15s, it should be a comfortable win. Or your under-21s. It should still be a comfortable win by a 3 or 4 goal margin. So my head says that you're going to win by 3 or 4 goals. But this is Tamworth at the Lamb. And so my heart says 2-1 Tamworth. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen. But I hope you enjoy your visit to the Lamb. It's a world apart from what you're used to, and the stadium and everything else, and all the fireworks and all the razzmatazz that goes with Premiership football. But this is real football, and the players and the management and the fans are just as passionate and committed about the game as are any Premiership side. And it does mean a lot to us, and we will dream. We are dreaming of a miracle, because occasionally it does happen. But I hope you enjoy your visit. We've got a new. I think it's about 600 fans that you're bringing up. We've got an away bar now, which is very nice, that we've just opened. So the facilities are good. Inside toilets, all the luxuries we've got here. If you're coming up the day before, the castle is worth a visit. It's excellent, Tamworth Castle, and we've got the best pub for the past 2 years in the country, the Tamworth Tap, and we've got several other great pubs. The Vaults, the Sheriff, the Bankhouse. So if you are coming up, I hope you enjoy your stay. It should be a good occasion, whatever. We're really looking forward to it. It's just a fantastic draw for us. I don't think it's probably the draw that you wanted, or maybe it is because you think, well, at least we're through to the 4th round. But it's the FA Cup, and all the best. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for having me on. Up the Lambs.